Alrighty guys, how's she going today? So there's just going to be a little bit of talking going on, and I do have a question for you guys as well. Well, we are into the new month and of course the new year. Exciting. I actually heard last night, I think it was the night before, no, it would have been New Year's Eve. So technically January 1st, whatever, however that works, whatever. Heard some people over on the North Dakota side shooting off some fireworks. I thought that was kind of interesting because it was fucking freezing out, like it had to have been minus 30 out. I suppose they weren't too far from their house, obviously, but I don't think I'd want to do it, you know, but whatever. So I got a little question here for you guys, and I kind of need an answer. I mean, I don't need an answer, but I kind of need to know if it's worth it, if I should waste my time doing it or not. Is if you guys would like another cold start video on the 1586. Now, the only reason why I'm asking, usually I do them, but anyway, but I think I did plenty of it last year, and of course last year it wasn't as cold as it is this year. Now, the last time I started the tractor would have been obviously last month, but it wasn't cold at the beginning of that month. It wasn't really that cold. Now, this past, you know, in December, it's usually not this cold. The kind of weather that we had all of December is usually like January, February kind of weather, like stuff, you know. So we kind of got our cold early, and it's been down to the minus 30 mark, even usually during the day. It might warm up slightly, but not a lot. And then there was a few times on and off that we were in a freeze warning, or a wind chill warning, I should say, to where apparently it was supposed to get down to minus 40 or even 50, but that depended on the area. I don't think here it got minus 50. Mainly due to the fact that we got a lot of trees, and I think that slows the wind down quite a bit. So I think if you were in an open field, maybe it would have gotten minus 50, but never got minus 50 here as far as I'm aware of. But the damn temperature thing on the house don't read accurate anyway. It comes and goes, but it's screwed up because it's a freaking cheap brand. But I mean, I can check it on my phone, but I've been watching the phone and on TV and stuff, and I don't think it's ever gotten down. It might have hit minus 40, but I don't think ever minus 50. Now, if it would have been minus 40, now the thing with this now is this month, obviously we're in January now. They're saying it's supposed to be kind of a slight warm up, like it's supposed to be above freezing. Well, not above freezing, I don't know why I keep saying that. It's supposed to be above zero, but it's supposed to be, I think there's still going to be some wind involved most of those days too, so it's not going to exactly be above zero. So I don't even know if I will be starting the tractor this month, because now if it was minus 40 or minus 50 out, I probably would definitely not be trying to start it, because it's not going to start. It definitely have to be plugged in for probably 4 to 6 hours if it was going to, because I'm sure the block is frozen. So, but they are saying a slight warm up, so it might be easier. I mean, I've started the tractor at minus 20 and it's never had a problem, but it's been a lot colder than that this last month, and she may not want to go. But I figured if you guys wanted to see it'll be probably slightly warmer when I do it, but you got to remember the block has been sitting all of December, and it was minus 40 or minus 30 out most of those days, and not even too sure if it would start. But I wanted to know if you guys wanted to see another cold start video. If you guys are interested in seeing an extreme cold start, because it's been pretty cold here. That's why I'm calling it the extreme cold start, because it's been cold. I'm not going to start it if it was minus 40 or 50 out. I'm not even going to waste my time, because I know for sure it's not going to start, unless it was obviously in a building. But it's not in a building. It's outside, I mean, it is protected by some buildings and some trees. I mean, so there is some protection, but it's not going to do a hell of a lot. But if you guys want to see it at a cold start, let me know. Other than that, I'm probably not even going to bother this month. I'll probably just skip it. I'll probably start it for myself, but for you guys, if you guys don't want to see it, then I won't waste my time. I did go over there yesterday. It was a little bit nicer yesterday. I mean, it's supposed to be nicer today, but as you can see, there's some wind picking up and it's starting to blow a lot of snow around. So that's actually why there's kind of a whiteout towards the north, and I see some clouds. It looks like clouds coming in, but I think that's actually blowing snow. Even though the snow should be hard, but I think it's that top layer that's not hard because I can see it blowing over here by the pickups. So I know it's not frozen exactly. My snow pile, on the other hand, is pretty solid. The one that I stacked up there. So that's I guess a good thing. So since I had a favorite troll, bullshit at me on my drunk driver video, and I'm not talking about AJ. AJ, you're not an asshole. I have bigger trolls out there that think they know it all and whatever. So this video is going to be, this part now is going to be just strictly for them, because I'm doing it because I'm going to ignore. I'm going to get on their nerves as much as possible. Because you know what? Screw it. If the trolls are willing to watch my videos and give me extra money, I might as well make videos that they like. So there will be a little rant here. They seem to enjoy the rants, so I'm going to give them a little rant. But I figured I would ask you guys that question if you guys wanted to see a cold start on the tractor, on the 1586. If not, then I'm not going to waste my time setting up the GoPro and everything. The GoPro probably won't last very long. Probably no more than 30 minutes, and I usually let it run for 30 minutes. So yeah, I would like to know if you guys would like a cold start video. If not, then that's fine. I'm going to let you guys vote on that. Vote yes for yes, you do want to see it, or no, you don't want to see it, whatever. Vote yes or no. Let me know. And then if I get enough votes on either one, then that's what I'll do. If 50% vote yeah, they want to see it, then we'll do it. But if I get more votes on no, then I won't do it. I won't bother. So, because I did it plenty last year, and I've done it a little bit this year. But other than that, I don't know. I don't really want to bore you guys too much. I mean, I suppose I could, if you guys did want to see one, maybe I could make a quick one, like 5 minutes maybe, which is what I should be doing, just enough to start it up, let it run, and that's it, and then I'll do the rest myself. So, but if you guys have seen the multimeter video, which I know some of you have, that multimeter that I bought, I did try it out a couple times. I tried it out on my power supply in the house for the CB radio. I have that set for 15.5 volts, 15.5 on the power supply. It just says 15.5. That's what that display is reading. And then when I hooked my multimeter up to it, it says 15.50. So, 15.5 or whatever that was again. So that's telling me that thing's actually very accurate. It's dead. It seems to be dead right on. It says in the book that you have to have it calibrated once a year. I don't know if anyone around here that does that. Maybe my uncle can do it. I know he's got, like I said, he's got his own multimeter too. I don't know of anyone around here that actually can calibrate those things. I don't know if it's really recommended well, it's recommended, but they say to do it yearly, and they're not really explaining if you should do it yearly and you're only using the thing, say, once a year. I don't know. Because I'm not going to be using it all that much. I mean, unless I have an issue, but other than that, I think I'll probably be pulling the battery out of that thing. I'll just leave it in there, but I'll just disconnect it. They say that if you're not going to use it for long periods of time, they say to disconnect the battery. I already checked I used it on the tractor batteries, as well. And from what Crazy JD Kids said, it's supposed to be reading about 12.8 or something, somewhere around there. Can't remember exactly now, but it was reading about a 12.1. So it's, from what he says, is a little bit on the low side, but it's not a lot. I'm still going to charge it anyway, because I need all the power that I need for starting, especially in these colder conditions now. I'm going to need it. So, and I do see a use for the rotary tool that I bought. I didn't actually, I can't say that I bought it because my sister bought it for me, but that was part of her Christmas presents, I guess, whatever. So, besides using it on the ear tags, I still have to order them come payday. But I'm also thinking I might also see a good use for it on the battery. Well, not the battery terminal rings itself, but the cable ends that slip onto the battery terminals. I see using one of those sanding discs or whatever the hell they are. You get the discs and then you get the round things too. It's got sandpaper on it. I think that might actually work pretty good for cleaning them up, because they could use a pretty damn good cleaning, because they do have a lot of gunk and shit sitting on them. But I'm not doing it now because it's too cold out. I might want to actually take the batteries out, so I'll probably just do that in the spring when it's warmer out, because there's no point in going hog wild on it when I'm not exactly using it for anything. There's no point in freezing my ass off for nothing. You know, I'm just basically doing it to do it. So, you know, so I'll clean it. I'll clean it in the spring. It ain't gonna be a problem. I'll do it in the spring. I might even get new batteries for them in spring, but we'll see. So, yeah. So let me know, guys, if you want to see a cold start on the tractor. Let me know. Vote yes or no to let me know. And if I get enough yes, then I'll do it. If I get a lot of no's, then I won't bother. I'll just do it myself. If it'll even start. If it don't start, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'll just recharge the batteries and then I'll call it good. Until I guess either we get a warmer day or I wait the next month then, or the month after, whatever. I ain't gonna worry about it. I don't have a use for the tractor, so really why should I worry about it? I just like to start it once a month. Basically, just to keep it going, make sure it runs, make sure I don't find any other newer problems with it. And I just like to keep it going, like I said, for emergencies. Like, well, not so much emergencies, but if my uncle should get his tractor stuck, you know, then at least I can plug mine in for a couple hours, fire it up, and go pull them out. Or if we do need to feed with it, then we can feed with it. It'll, you know, I want to keep it going. I don't want it to get locked up or something like that. That's what the dealer did when they had it. They said they started it once a month, even though it sat on their lot for about a year. And they may have started it once a month, but I can tell you they never really moved it. If they would have moved it, I don't think a rat nest would have been built in the cab, you know. So, whatever. So I'm just going to start it once a month. I probably should do one to the John Deere, because it's been minus 40 lately, or minus 30 I should say, and I think the John Deere would start. I wouldn't be happy, but he would do it. But whatever. So if you guys want to stop watching the video now, you can, but I'm going to make a little ranting video just because I want to piss off my favorite trolls. So that's the only reason why I'm doing this, because I just love pissing them off. I like reading their comments. There's an extra views, why not? If this is what's going to get me extra views and more money, well, fuck it, I'll do it then. So we're going to get into a little rant. So, if you guys remember a video, I don't remember what the video was called because I made this probably back in July, about this thing here for the county assessor, or whatever the hell they call it. You know what it is? Basically, it's just a form you fill out. Like I said, I ranted about this before. about them asking questions about your property. Well, as you can see, I never sent it in. And I got good reasons to why I did this. Okay? Now, there's some questions in here, like I said, that I'm okay with, but there's a lot of questions in here that I totally disagree with. So, obviously, they ask, your name, the date, I guess, I suppose whenever you mailed it out, or whenever you got it, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. But they ask, and then they ask, are you listed as an owner on the deed? Okay, whatever. Basically, I don't like answering these questions because I think it's a waste of time and it's fucking stupid. But the one that pissed me off, which I don't know why it pisses me off, but it did. It got on my nerves quite a bit. They asked me, basically, if I'm married, marital status, whatever. And then you're supposed to mark single, married, divorced, legally separated. It's kind of the same thing as divorced or whatever. And if you're married, does your spouse, is she part owner of this property as well? Okay, well, now, see, here's the thing. Whoops. The marriage status. That's a question that they don't need to ever fucking know because, they don't know. Sometimes when couples get married, then they split the house payment 50-50 and 50% owns the house and the other 50% owns the house. That's kind of a bad idea because later on down the road, if you get divorced or you get separated or whatever, then you're fighting over the stupid house, So technically the way I see it is if I ever get married someday, I'm going to still be 100% owner of my house. My wife's not going to be 50% owner of this house because if something should happen later on down the road, I ain't going to argue with her about it. It's going to be mine 100% no matter what. But I still believe that that's, an answer that they don't need to know. Now I understand, obviously if she was part owner of the property, then that would be blah, blah, blah. Okay, but there's questions on here that I don't give a shit about, and there's some on the back here. See if I can read any of these. First, they ask if you're claiming the property, whatever. Whatever. Of course, they have two different sections here. One for residential and one for, farmland or whatever. Agriculture. And, technically, I own a little bit of both. I own this, which is residential, and then I own a little bit of farmland, too. So, I own a little bit of both. So, of course, then they ask, all this other shit. Is the property owner a Minnesota resident? I don't know why you would own property in Minnesota if you didn't live in Minnesota in the first place. Can happen. I got some Canadian people that own land next to us, and they're from Canada, so I don't think they're ever going to do anything with it. They should actually sell it to me so I can turn around and use it for something else. I'd actually just put my cattle on there, expand out more. It's not a lot of land, but it's good enough. So, but I disagree with this. That's why I never sent it in. Okay? Because some of these things just piss me off, and I shouldn't have to fill this out all the time. And I think they're going to be sending this out probably once a year. Of course, they want you to send it in by December 15th of 2017. Well, I'm a little late, but I don't give a shit. And I'm gonna tell you a lot of reasons why I don't give a shit. Of course, then they explain that if you should lie about any information, like your name or what you pay on your taxes or whatever, those kind of stupid questions, they're going to fine you up to $3,000 or 1 year in prison. So, it is what it is. So, okay, well, I didn't sign this, right? Obviously, you can see, because if I sign this, this would not be in my hand. This would be in their office, right? Okay, well, I didn't sign it because I don't give a shit about any of this. It's my land. I don't think the government should have to know what I'm doing. And they always have to put a big old debate too, you know, like, oh, well, we need to know if you build a new building and, you know, you put a shop on or, you know, whatever, just in general, a new building. And I think it's more mandatory for a building that is permanent, not so much like one that's temporary, like a shed, like those plastic ones. They're not permanently bolted to the ground. You know, you can move them anytime you want. So when it comes to sheds like that, I don't think they care. And technically, I don't know if this shop is bolted down. I really don't see any leg bolts going through the wood, so I'm thinking it's just sitting here. So I don't know what this shop would be. I don't know what category this would be under, permanent or movable, but it is sitting on a concrete base, so I don't know. But back when this shop was built, it didn't matter. You know, they didn't have those kind of rules. Back then, you could just build it and be done with it. Nowadays, you got to pull up fucking permits, and you got to tell the state that you're doing this and doing that. Well, that's a crock of shit. Okay, I disagree with that, but you can argue with me if you like. But no matter what, okay, even if you don't sign this piece of paper filling out this information, they will send somebody down, and they did. They sent somebody down today, and they took pictures of my house to see if I did anything new. Well, okay, well, first of all, to be honest with you, I don't know why I have to sign it, because I'm never going to build a new home. I'm never going to, not anytime soon anyway, at least put a new shop on here. You know, I mean, I don't see this happening for quite some time. And if I do decide to build a new shop, it's most likely going to be done at the farm. So, but this, I mean, you're talking years down the road. So why am I wasting my time filling out a form that's never going to happen? Now, I understand they want to know shit, but you know what? This here takes time out of my day, okay? Now, back probably, well, when I first moved here, I'm actually going to switch gloves too, by the way. Back when I first moved here, they didn't do that. They didn't send out those papers. No, they didn't, because they would actually physically send somebody down here. And that's what really pissed me off. Sending a piece of paper doesn't really piss me off, because they're not really exactly wasting my time. I can just go throw that in my corner of my desk and leave it. You know, I can look at it at a later date, because they do give you a lot of time, you know, to work on that. You know, you have from what they sent that, I think, back in July, so, and they want it mailed in by, this time they wanted it mailed in by December 15th. So I mean, you had plenty of time to fill it out. But when I first moved here, okay, they sent people down, you know, actual people. And then they would literally stalk your house. It's stalking, that's what it is. It's considered stalking. And they would sit there, and again, they'd ask you millions and millions and millions of questions. Are you married? What's your plans with the house or the property in the future? You know, blah, 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 blah. It was such a waste of time. And then what really pissed me off, because see, when I first moved here, the first time they did it, okay, it wasn't so bad, right? I mean, it wasn't like the worst thing in the world. I've been through worse, so it's not the worst thing. But not even can't even say it. I definitely can't say a year later. It probably, maybe a few months later, and I think it was still in the summertime. And then they sent somebody down again. And then they did it again. Like, it just kept, it just kept happening and happening. And this is when it started pissing me off. Okay? Because I have better things. And then they ask the same fucking questions. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm like, dude, you already fucking know the goddamn answers to everything. Go look it up at the damn courthouse. You know? It's like, it's there. It's like, there was already one person here months ago, you know, asking these damn questions. And then now, you know, and now you're coming down here, and it's probably only been like a month or two. It's like, really? Nothing's going to change in a 2 or 3 months time, you know? Nothing's going to change. So, and then another thing that pissed me off was that at one time they sent the lady. I don't remember if she came to my door or not, but I know my sister was living in that house at the time. The house literally right across from me. Not this one right here where the cars are on, but the next one over. Everyone knows where the hell she lived at. All the people around here anyway. Actually, it was kind of a nice place. The garage is fucking nice though. The house is the house is okay, but the basement's pretty fucked up. It's not like a nowadays basement. It was literally, I think, the house was literally sitting on a stone wall. That's what it seemed like, because it was actually kind of caving in a little bit there in that one corner. But anyways, when she lived there at the time, well, obviously, my sister works, you know. She was working, 8-10 hours a day, whatever the hell it was, whatever, you know, when she was living there, when she was working there. Well, she's at work. Okay, well, move on with your day, you know. I mean, the lady that wanted to get a hold of her so damn bad literally parked in her driveway and fell asleep. Because my sister said that she came home and she was like, why the hell is this car in my driveway? So she got out, she parked her car on the side of the road, and she got out and she looked in the window of the car, you know, and the lady's over there with her eyes shut and her head's, you know, leaning over. I'm like, really? And you're telling me that we're paying for that? Really? Like, that was the second major thing that pissed me off, is that we're paying these bitches to fucking do their job, but they're getting paid. They're getting paid to sleep. Look at it that way. They're basically getting paid to sleep. I wish I got paid for sleeping. I don't get paid for sleeping. You know, it's like, and that's where our money's going to. That's why I hate these fucking things. I hate those people. I hate that crap. You know, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it for me to fill that out, and because of that. When I seen that pissed me off all the more. I was like, you know what, I'm done. Screw it. Nothing's ever going to change, and if something was to change, you know, I would go to the courthouse and tell them, hey, I want a permit to build a building or to move my house, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Don't be sending people to my damn place. And there's no sense of mailing that to my place because nothing's going to change, you know. Back in the day when, you know, when you wanted to build a building, you could just build it. You know, you didn't have to go to the courthouse and fork out a $100 permit to build a building. You could just build it. But see, I think the government, you know, kind of caught on to that, and they're like, oh, well, we're losing money on this. So that's why they decide, okay, well, if you want to build something, you now have to pay a $100 permit, you know, to build something. And that's wrong. I think that's wrong. You're just scamming people of fucking money. I mean, there's so much scamming going on in this world. It's no wonder why it's so hard to live, you know? Every year it's getting harder and harder to live. It really is. And now I just found out, I think it was actually my power company that, you know, obviously gives my house power. They're upping their bill too. I'm like, are you serious? You're seriously telling me that you don't make enough money to keep your business going? Now, there might be some people around here, obviously, that are going over to solar and windmill powered, you know, so they're trying to lessen their bill. Well, you know, actually, when you do that, yeah, sure, you're saving money on your end, but then it's going up on my end. You know, like, you know, and putting up solar panels and windmills can cost a lot of money to do. You know, especially if you wanted to say just fork out the cash. You know, now there are companies out there that will do these kind of contracts with you. You know, where they'll install it, but they get, I think they get some of the power, or they get some of the money, whatever it is. I think you can either pay them monthly or whatever, or they get some of the power. I don't know exactly how that works, but you know, like if this is what power companies are going to do, then no wonder why people are going over, you know, to solar power, because they can't afford it. You're going to keep upping it. Well, you know, you might as well take advantage of something that's free, and the sun and the wind is free. You know, so I think people should go over to solar and windmill power. I mean, I don't know if you're going to ever get the amount of power that you would ever want. You know, you might get enough to maybe run your house, you know, and a few lights in your shop, but if you wanted to do a lot of heavy work, you know, I don't know if solar would ever keep up with it. You know, I suppose if you had enough of everything, then maybe it could, but you would sure need a lot of fucking batteries. You know, it's like, is it really worth the investment? I suppose in the long run it would be. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just, you're gonna up my freaking bill. What the hell, you know? Stupid. But yeah, but for that's just, no, that ain't necessary. You know, it's just, I understand they want to know some things, but there are limitations to what you need to know. You don't need to know if I'm married. You don't need to know any of that crap, you know. You don't even need to know who the hell's living in my house. It doesn't matter. What should matter is that the motherfucker that owns the goddamn land is paying the goddamn taxes. And he's paying the bills to keep the house going. That is, that's it. You don't need to know any more than that, you know. So as long as the taxes are being paid, that's all they should care about. They shouldn't care about who's living here, who's paying for what, this and that, are you married, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. You know. That's the final straw, is that I don't give a shit. You're not knowing. And I don't really appreciate that the bitch came, there's two girls. They were in a silver pickup truck. I got a picture of it too. I took a picture of it because I thought it was hilarious. But they obviously parked in my driveway, got out, seen a little like antenna on top of the roof, so I figured they must have had a ham radio or something in it. I don't fucking know. Like you'd need one. For your kind of work, you wouldn't need one, but whatever. Could have been an antenna for something else too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Could have been for a GPS system, maybe. I don't know. Some GPSs are high tech and they need an antenna, so I don't know. But I don't really appreciate that she got out, and they even hung this stupid thing here on my door. And then you got the bitch taking pictures of my house from 3 different fucking angles. It's like, first of all, you're trespassing. Second of all, you're taking pictures of my house without my permission to do so. You know. It's like, really? What made you top dog of my property? You know, that's what I hate about the courthouse and the government. They're dirty little bitches. And they think that they have more power than you. And they don't. Screw the fucking government. Screw the goddamn courthouse. You know, because the courthouse works for the government. You know, they're hired by the government. You know. So basically what they do is they spy on you. That's their spying. So you do enough spying by looking at what we do online. Like that's... you don't need to be doing any more than that. If even that. So, but they left this on my door. It just says assessor's office and then the damn number. But oh, they even got a website too. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. But I guess they didn't have any questions because on the back here it says questions from accessors regarding property, and there's some lines there, obviously, that you would fill out if they had some questions, and there's nothing marked, so there's nothing written on it. Office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Well, they don't work very late at all then. Fucking hell, 4:30. Huh, usually they'll stay out. Well, maybe in the summertime they stay out later than that. I don't know. But, yeah, whatever. It still wasn't necessary. You know, it's just, and then you're hanging crap on my door. Yeah, I don't like that. Actually, this wasn't even hanging on my door. The freaking cat, either the cat pulled it off or the wind pulled it off, but it was laying on the ground. So, well, actually it was laying in the doorway. Because I got my door cracked open a little bit so my cats can go in and out as they want. From the garage to outside. I leave my door open. So, the wind could have knocked it over, or the cat knocked it over, whatever. They got, you know, it hangs on the door handle, obviously. So, but while the one was hanging down on my door, the other one walks around the back. She's got this big fucking iPad looking thing, you know, taking pictures. Like, yeah, that don't stand out. So, I just walk on by, walk behind the garage there, you know, and just walk to about halfway down the shop trail there, and just started snapping pictures. You know, are you gonna get mad at me because I got a CB radio on top, or a CB antenna on top of my roof too? Are you gonna charge me more because I got an antenna on top of my roof? As well within legal height limits, so, because I think the height you're legally allowed to go is, I think, 25 feet from the center of your roof line, so then I don't think I'm quite anywhere near that yet. I'm not sure what it is, but I think 25 feet was the highest you could go. Maybe, I don't know. So, unless it was from the tree line, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't think I'm ever going to buy a different antenna because really this antenna's been working, so screw it. Save myself $180 and, you know, spend it on something I actually could use. I already got a working antenna, so. But it really makes me wonder, guys. I have this going through my mind all day long since I have seen this. I'm sitting here thinking, what do they do, okay, when your property is fenced off, right? Okay, and you got a 6 foot tall, higher fence, whatever, and it's a 100% see. You know, you can't see through it. You can't see through the fence, right? And you have a gate in your driveway. Now let's say it's another driveway or another gate that's you can't see through. What do they do? Do they rent out a helicopter, fly above your land, stick the camera out the window and start snapping pictures? Or do they call the police and say, hey, open your fucking gate, let this damn bastard in? You know, it's like, what do they do? That's the thing that blows my mind, is that, because no one around here has their property fenced off, you know, obviously. Not like, you know, some people do. Some people want privacy in their yard, so they get a fence that you can't see through. And usually most fences are 6 feet tall. You know. So, at 6 feet, well, that's about a little bit higher than me, probably. I'm 5'9", so it's not much higher than me, I suppose. But, you know, if you have a woman doing it, most women are not 5'9". You know, they're a little shorter. So a 6 foot tall fence might be a little bit hard for them to look over. Now, if they touch your fence, then that's touching private property, and I could whoop your ass for it. But it is what it is. So, I mean, if they would have been a guy doing that, I think I would have whooped his ass. You know, I would have, you need to get the fuck out of here. You know, get the hell out. Don't come back. You're trespassing. You know, now if it was a woman, that would be a different story. You know, I would just simply call the police and just have her removed, because I'm not going to touch a woman. You don't ever touch a girl or a woman, whatever. You don't do that. That's just wrong. So I don't touch women that way. You know, I don't touch them at all. That's not the manly thing to do. You do that, you're a fucking coward and a pussy bitch. You know. So for a man, yeah, I'll whip your fucking ass and I'll beat it to your skull's fucking crushed. For a woman, I'm just gonna call the cops and tell the cop to remove you. But if I was to ever see someone park in my driveway and sleep in my driveway, I will quietly open the door. I will sneak in, turn the key on, and put your fucking truck in neutral and let it roll into the ditch, because you're not sitting in my driveway, bitch. I don't give a shit. I ain't doing that. You're blocking my driveway, so I can't get in. And what if the emergency vehicles had to come? They can't get in my driveway because your fat ass is blocking my driveway with your fucking fancy Ford pickup truck. Okay? That's another thing that pisses me off too, is that they don't think about that, oh, you know, well, this is somebody's driveway, they might need it for an emergency. I mean, I understand that they're not here very long. Like, they weren't even here 2 minutes. A lot can still happen in 2 minutes. They should just be kindly enough to just park on the side of the road and just stay there. Don't block my driveway. Don't even block my damn mailbox either. Okay, well, when she got done, okay, she parked in my driveway. She took 2 or 3 however many pictures over the back. Like, she stood in the same place though, and she just kept, you know, taking pictures. I don't know if she took any from the driveway. I can't quite remember. But then she pulled out, and they went past the pine tree over here. And then she got out, and she literally started kind of walking on my property again, like she was trying to take a picture now from that angle of the house in the front. Okay, well, when she did that, well, first, you know, the first thing she did, she walked on my property, trespassing. But then she was standing on the road taking pictures. Okay, well, you're standing on a public road, so therefore I can't do anything. But you're still taking pictures of my house, which is, you know, you should be asking permission to do so. You shouldn't just come down and fucking do it. You know, and I think regardless if you filled out that form or not, they're still going to send somebody down. They're not going to come to the door or anything. They're just going to take pictures of your house. You know, I don't appreciate somebody taking pictures of my house. You know, they talk about a whiteout. We got a whiteout condition now. You can see all the blowing snow. I knew that something was going to come because look at that shit now. Ugh. It's a good thing I ain't going anywhere. And they better not be doing this on payday like I did last month. This was bullshit. I couldn't even get to North Dakota that on payday last month because this. Ugh. God, I'll be glad when fucking winter's over. The way I look at it, guys, every time a new month comes, I think to myself, okay, we're just another month closer to spring. We're actually very close to spring now. We just got to get past January, and then we should be doing a little bit better for weather-wise, but not very much. But we're just getting all that much closer, boys. Springtime. Can't fucking wait. Because this sucks. But there's not a lot of snow on the ground either. I haven't been doing a lot of plowing this year, so I'm not really complaining too much about that. But the cold's kind of bullshit, but whatever. I stay in the house most of the time anyway, so it's too fucking cold out to be doing anything outdoors. And I think it's going to start getting colder now because since the wind picked up. So I'm probably going to be going in, guys, so I just wanted to give you guys that little bit of a rant. I'm going to show you guys the weather outside here quick before I end the video so you guys can see. We went from having clear skies to whiteout conditions now. Let's see here. I suppose it don't look that bad on camera. I don't know. Does it look bad on the camera? It's probably not as bad as the naked eye, but that's bad. It's a good thing I'm not going anywhere. It's a good thing I'm not going anywhere. Another thing I think I got to do is shave my face. Be doing that here in the next day or two. I'll be glad too, because this thing gets annoying after a while. So, well, yeah. So there's my little rant. So hopefully I pissed off my trolls. I had to rant just to piss them off because they seem to enjoy when I rant. So there you go. Make sure you give it an extra dislike and extra views and extra money. So, yeah. I feel like a damn celebrity. I'm a YouTube celebrity, I guess. I get a lot of people watching and a lot of stupid comments. So, whatever. Extra money. So, alright guys, I'm taking off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Take her easy.